Attention. This video is a record of a live stream held at twitch.tv/Corvid_communications. If you want to actively participate in chat or otherwise interact, please follow us on Twitch, and follow us on other social media sites as well. Please enjoy the following content.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Corvid Communications Executive Stream. As always, I am Calvin Cawthorne, CEO of Corvid Communications Incorporated, and the banging noises you hear in the background are my son playing with toys. Anyway, so, welcome in everyone. I hope you're having had a wonderful week. Also, let's see who all we know is in. Oh, Sort of a Demon, welcome in. Thank you for the daily sacrifice. Royce, thank you for the daily sacrifice. Always good to see a friend stop by. Loading Delayed, also a wonderful that you should stop by. I hope all of you had a wonderful week. And hello to anyone who may be lurking but does not feel like chatting today, which is perfectly alright. So, just a couple of things to talk about before we get into Shadows over Loathing. So, for those of you who are new here, we are just finishing up our spring rotation. For those of you who don't know, I typically rotate between about 3 segments with each stream, with a few other alternative segments interspersed here and there. They are Sinister Endeavors, which is where I play a random game of my choosing, generally a short indie horror game. And then there is Shareholder Selection, which is where you, the lovely followers of my channel, get the option to choose what game I play in a poll that is on Discord, my Discord, and my other socials. By the way, shameless plug. I'm going to shamelessly plug that my Discord right now, along with my other socials such as Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, well, not Threads, and YouTube. And I just add up all those results, and whichever one has the most votes by the end of it will be the winner. And if there's a tie, I spin a wheel to see which one winds up the victor. I think I've had 3 ties in my entire time doing this. And then, last but not least, there is Unfinished Business, where I take a game that was a previous stream's Shareholder Selection or Sinister Endeavor, or even previous Unfinished Business if it's not a consecutive quarter, and I play that to hopefully, being the operative word there, finish the game, because if you do not know, I write reviews on the games I finish on stream because I just enjoy talking about story and whatnot. I'll admit I've fallen a bit behind on that because I have at least 3 in the works now that I haven't even gotten to editing yet. But that is it. We are sending off Shadows over Loathing. And starting next week, on Tuesday, is our Summer 2025 rotation, which is, for the Sinister Endeavors, is of course a random game of my choosing. Given how close we are to Shadows over Loathing, I may just play that. The Shareholder Selection for Summer was Yakuza 0, which is technically a continuation, but I only ever played it once. And then the Unfinished Business is Worshippers of Cthulhu, which is a Lovecraftian city building game, if you can believe it. Alright, I think that is everything. Also, I have already started writing the next episode of the ARC Files podcast, so I hope you all look forward to that in the future. Surprisingly enough, those actually aren't the most effort-intensive to make other than the recording. It just takes a lot of time. So, let's get into it, because I feel like this is a game where I can kind of chat with you while I play. So, let's get into it. Also, I think I kind of want to go over the funny settings of this game real fast. Quick question, can you all hear me over the game fine enough? Please let me know if there are audio issues, because if I know about it, I can fix it. So, these are your video options, and in typical, I couldn't wear a suit to this one. I don't have the proper essentials. I wear a suit all the time, but between you and me, the Feathers, the suit is technically a part of me. It's not actually a separate piece of clothing. Speaking of, it has been hot where I am. I'm going to take the jacket off. It has been in the 80s. I am so glad that I have the air conditioning in my home working again. Because my day job is at a fairly not well ventilated production plant. I'm an administrator there. It gets very, very warm. I feel every single one of those 80 degrees. Alright, where was I? Okay. A little sign on the table says, Boris only. That cat had better be Boris, or there's gonna be trouble. Try petting him. Boris hits this at you. He must know you're an outsider. Why is this game kind of laggy? This is not a very intensive game. I don't know why I'm getting, like, occasional lag. Kid is messing around with some kind of weird mechanical contraption. What's this thing you're making? I don't really know yet. I'm just kind of messing around with it because I'm taking a break from my main project. Hey, do you know anything about the chupa naranja? I try to avoid spicy food. It gives me the hiccups. You know what, Cawthorn? You are a horrible representation of me. I live for spicy food. If it burns my mouth, it is done properly. I have been getting into coffee recently. I actually put cayenne in it, believe it or not. No, this is kind of a monster that eats oranges. They're supposed to be from way down south. Oh, okay, the whole chupa naranja makes sense now. Because, for those of you who do not speak Spanish, and me, I only speak Spanish fairly minimally, naranja is the Spanish word for orange. I believe it's both the color and the fruit, but I'm not sure on that. But I know there's one in this swamp somewhere. Unfortunately, no matter what kind of trap I build, it keeps escaping. Do you want to try? Sure, why not? Great, feel free to use my workbench over there. I got plenty of spare parts and stuff. If you manage to catch it, bring me back one of its nostrils as proof, okay? A nostril. Not the whole head or pelt. Oh no, I don't want to kill it, just prove that it's not that. Pull out a nostril. That sounds more painful than just chopping his head off. I don't know about anyone else. Like, have you ever had something hit you in the nose? That hurts immensely. I took some martial arts classes as a kid. Yeah, the nose is one of the places we're told aim for. Aim for it. Alright, it's a workbench covered with tools and oranges. Build a chupa naranja trap. Alright. Add a battery. Add a fuse. A nostril isn't too hefty. Yeah, it might not be too hefty a task, but here's the thing, okay? It's like, just killing the thing might be less painful. For the person cutting it out, probably not would be that much big of a task. I'm talking about how much is it going to hurt the thing. You got an item, chupa naranja trap. It's a homemade chupa naranja trap of dubious quality. Are you calling my craftsmanship dubious, game? How dare. How dare you? Alright. You've already translated this code. It says, these kids are all right. Okay, I believe it's in the frog bog. Actually, wait. I'm gonna check my journal real fast. View side quest information. Rufus once you found the elevator. Amphibious truck. Somewhere in the Big Moist. So, for those of you who don't know, the current area of the game is the Big Moist. A spot of color in this drab swamp catches your eye, and you find a pile of withered orange husks in front of a shallow cave. This must be the lair of chupa naranja. Fortunately, it isn't home right now, or maybe since you aren't an orange, it wouldn't be dangerous to you anyway. That almost certainly isn't true. Set your trap. You set your trap and hide in a nearby bush to wait for your prey. After a while, you start to get very bored. And remember that people who hunt with traps don't typically sit and wait for their prey to show up. Instead, they leave and come back later. That's kind of the whole point of animal traps. Doo! Did the game crash? Please don't.
Find food. You take.
Oh, thanks. You got an item. Shadow salad. Where did you find this?
Hole.
Could you elaborate?
No, shut up.
You notice a big brown rock, half submerged in the swamp. It's an ancient mammoth coprolith. Oh! For those of you who don't know, that is literally fossilized crap. And that is literally what it is. It is fossilized crap. Scrape off the good bits. Because apparently there's good bits in fossilized poop. I, too, put people's shadows in my food. Shadows are quite tasty if you season them right. I'm right there with you, sort of a demon. You can almost tell what the mammoth had for breakfast. You got an item. Fustulent grulch. I do not like that word, grulch. Is that even a real word? If so, could someone look up the definition? I would do it myself, but all of my technology that I could use to do so is currently tied up in streaming. This is definitely the most fustulent of grulches you're carrying around. Despite anything the map might have to say about it, you manage to wander back to the spot where you set that trap for the chupanarana. Peering through the bushes, you discover your trap has indeed trapped something. Thank you very much, sort of a demon. I appreciate you. It sort of looks like a giant toad with a tentacled face, covered in boils that might also be eyes. You have no idea what a chupanarana looks like, but the scene's about as likely as anything you were imagining. The presumed chupanarana seems pretty annoyed about being caught in your trap. Well, I mean, if I was minding my own business and checking and got caught in a trap, I'd be pretty pissed too. Approach it. You carefully sneak up on the chupanarana, which senses your presence and thrashes angrily, breaking free of your trap. It turns to face you. It seems mad. We're all mad here. This is the Cthulhu mythos, or at least a parody of it. If you haven't already lost your sanity, trust me, it's coming. You will soon. We will all be mad. Like, seriously, I'm pretty sure that's how the world ends. Cthulhu wakes up, everyone goes crazy, the world ends. Bing, bang, boom. Where's the music? The music is off. Oh, it's catching up. According to Urban Dictionary, grulch is where you mix a can of beans and your own poop and then boil it in a... Oh, gross. You know, I would say I wish I could unlearn that, but also, like... That's just kind of the nature of being curious about things. You look things up. You find things you'd rather not know. You have the knowledge. There is no turning back. Curiosity is an addiction that must be fed. Constantly. Elemental attack. Summon a cheese buddy to help you fight. I did ask for that information. I do not blame you for looking up that information. Like I said, it's just like, you know how people tell you just don't ask questions you don't want the answer to? Here's the thing, okay? You don't know if you don't want the answer to the question until you get the answer. Raggets. That sounds pretty fustulent. Yes, indeed it does. I will henceforth, however, no longer be using the word grulch. That's the thing. You don't know if it's information you don't want until you ask the question. Therefore, there is no avoiding it. You will gain knowledge you do not wish to have. It is inevitable. I may want to restart this game because it is struggling today. Like, everything else is running fine. It's just the game is deciding to chug a bit. Presto! Camemberto! Isn't presto just Italian? Ta-da, but Italian. It's multiple things at once. Okay, looks like it's starting to kind of get the hang of things. Alright. Cheese missile! Weapon attack! Hey, you killed my spider friend, Mr. Toad. You're about to go on a wild ride, I tell you what! You won. Italians are kind of responsible for a ton. You know what? Technically, both literally and technically, yeah, because the Roman Empire was in Italy. And a lot of languages owe their roots to Latin, and English in particular borrowed a ton of them, even though technically it's a Germanic language. You won. You quickly cut off one of the creature's nostrils, you pick up your trap, and get the heck out of there before that thing regains consciousness. Chupacabra nostril. A ring of flesh perfectly crafted by natural selection to seek out the mightiest of oranges. Buzz the mosquito grows stronger. Alright. Monsters. It was the shack. It was the monster shack. The monster shack. It was a graveyard smash. Okay, just so that the game stops chugging, I'm going to try restarting the game, just to see if that helps with the issues I am having. So, forgive me, the intrusion, it will take but a moment. Alright. Do I have to open Task Manager? Seems like I do, just give me 1 second. Boop-a-doop-boo! Oh, there it goes. Okay, I mean, V2 Studio's taking a bit of my RAM, but that's kind of typical. Like, for those of you who don't know, I start a lot of sentences with that. But if none of you are familiar with how streaming works, VTubing in particular, it takes a pretty beefy computer to do. Like, you don't necessarily need top of the line, but it takes, like, you need something with good RAM because you have a ton of things running in the background, and it takes a toll on your CPU. Just thought I'd let you know. But the weird thing is that the game that was chugging, normally if I have issues, other programs start kind of chugging a bit too. Okay, looks like that did it. Oh, never mind. Well, we'll work with it. Hi, bud. Do you need your water filled? All right, I'll fill your cup. Be right back. All right. Sorry about that. Baby Cawthorn brought me his water cup. It was empty, and he can't reach the sink, so he can't fill it on his own. Wait, did that undo everything? Hey, okay, it did not. Good. Hey, I caught that Chupa Naranja you were after. Well, nearly. I had to tussle with it a bit. Got the job done, though. Wow, that's great. Now we have real proof why there aren't any oranges in the swamp. Sure. Here's its nostril. Neat. I'll wear it as a ring. Okay. Anyway, don't go near that part of the swamp for a while. It was real mad. The kid takes your sash, pins another badge to it, and hands it back to you. Alright, kid is peering at a terrarium filled with flies and occasionally tapping on the glass. Hi there, are you, into flies? Well, kinda. They're interesting once you get over the gross factor, but mostly I'm just studying that because I'm really interested in the fly man. The fly man. Okay, so we got... So far, with this little, I don't think they really have this in the game, but guild, they've dealt with various references to other, legends. So far, we've had the Chupacabra, the Baba Yaga, and now Mothman. Oh, sorry, Flyman. Oh, actually, I had a thing happen at work today. So I compile reports a lot for my day job, and occasionally, not very often, but occasionally, I misspell things on their reports, and sometimes that makes it all the way to the big meeting. In this case, I was trying to write the word fuse box, but for some reason, in the meeting, on the TV, it did not say fuse box, it said fidgiboo. What is a fidgiboo? I don't know. I meant to write fuse box, but instead I got something that sounds like a knockoff Labubu. Although, to be fair, the people I work with have a very good sense of humor, so it really just got a good laugh out of them. I actually do really like my job. Although I'll admit having a bit of mandatory overtime today due to production goals kinda sucked. But, it's whatever. A little more money never hurt nobody. Anyway. Oh yeah, or maybe the man-fly. I haven't really decided which way is better yet. So what is it? Flyman or man-fly? He's a scientist that moved to Old Flemberg, the old Flemberg place. Oh, great name. Flemberg sounds gooey. I did a little spying on him, and I think he's trying to turn himself into a giant fly. Why would anyone want to do that? I don't know. That's what's so interesting about him. Huh. She looks at her feet and blushes a little. Also, he's really handsome. For now, you mean? Well, yeah, I'd like to meet him, but I'm too shy. Can you help me out? Sure, I'll help. Oh, thank you. Here, I'll show you where his house is. Old Flemberg Place. If you mean, could you, bring me back a souvenir? Like what? Maybe, one of his chest hair? Kid, you're creepy. Why? Ew. Why? Another person's body hair. Like, I even find it weird that sometimes people keep other people's head hair for a memento, but, like, chest hair. Is this a reference to The Fly? The Jeff Goldblum movie, The Fly, is that a reference to this? All of a sudden, you hear a gatorman screaming wildly to your left, and then right. Okay, yes, we are being ambushed. We'll fight them. How dare... Alright. Well, there's a much older version, but yes. Yeah, I know, but I think the one most people are familiar with is the Jeff Goldblum version. At least, most people in this day and age. I mean, The Fly is, like, what, how old franchise? Pretty damn, I'm sure. Alright, Gatorman Scream Mouth, pretty sure you're a crowd control guy, so we're gonna deal with you first. Alright, hit multiple guys. Smash a dude's teeth in, because that dude's a healer. And now, speak Relayan. And punch. You won. Jeez, maybe that'll teach him not to sneak up on you like that. Maybe. Probably not, because that's how these games work. Enemies come at you from nowhere. Alright, do I have any, things I don't have yet? No, just skills I can, Swamp Chaos. The original short story was 1957. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, some viscous goo has rendered this house entirely decorative. Rendered the house decorative. Also, Flemberg's guess is right. The mailbox says Flemberg. Rifle through it. Because that's... You casually committed a federal crime. Good! I'm a CEO of a mega corporation. That's Tuesday for me. Alright. There's a very small man inside the machine is clearly trying to get your attention. Talk to him. Hi, I'm Calvin Cawthorn. Do you need help? You know what? I need to do something for this.
I absolutely need help. Thank you. My name is Flemberg, Paul Flemberg. I moved back into my parents' old house here because nobody would give me lab space for my experiments. Turned out an assistant would have been nice to have.
What were you trying to do?
Improve myself. You know, better, faster, stronger, harder, better, faster, stronger. At least one of those, but I put the wrong setting in the control console and all that happened was that I shrank.
He barely takes up his own bit. You are exactly correct, sort of demon. You can't just change the settings?
The door doesn't open from inside.
But...
Yeah, I didn't think it through.
Okay, well, I can just let you out.
No. Opening the door will depolarize the booth, and it takes months for the field emitters to recharge. Not to mention the fact that I'll have to collect all new supplies of genetic materials so the door can only be opened once.
Jeez, you really didn't think this through. What should I do, then?
You'll have to fix the setting on the console.
What should I set it to?
Clearly, if I knew that, I wouldn't have put the wrong ones in myself. Just make me better before you open the door.
But then what?
Better than a normal guy. I don't know. I spent so long thinking about how I could build this machine that I didn't have left to think about why I built the machine.
Okay, so yes, this is a Jeff Goldblum reference, because literally, the whole thing of Jurassic Park is you spent so long considering that you could do it, you did not consider why. Alright, crazy controls for this contraption. Bunch of welding tools and supplies. This shelf contains a lot of things that you don't know what they are or what they do. It's a workbench covered in tools. Next to the workbench, there's a pile of much smaller workbenches. You got an item. Tiny workbench. Flemberg must have been working on miniaturization technology before he developed his weird fly obsession. If this guy cared about these tools, he probably wouldn't have left them on the floor. Finders keepers, then. After all, what's he gonna do about it? He's 2 inches tall. He's like action figure sized. Can't I just open the door and take him? Okay. Pituitary. Fly. Hat. Flip the hat lever. The machine rumbles. You look back up at the screen. The screen above the lever reads, Pituitary. Okay. So... body lever. Lungs. Step away. Oh. The machine contains a huge fly with Flemberg's angry head on it. He's wearing a nice hat. So, how's this one? Flemberg opens and closes his mouth a couple of times, but seems unable to say anything. This clearly upsets him a bit. Not just yet. Okay, let's fix his lungs. Alright. Oh god, one sec, I'll try again. Oh, no wait, this one's pretty great actually. What? I can fly, I have the proportionate strength of a fly scaled up to human size. What's not to love? Now what? Well, he seems happy about it, so open the door. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. You let Flemberg out of the booth. Heck yeah, I can't wait to get up to all kinds of giant fly stuff. Well, before you go, I need to get a chest hair off you. Do I still have those? Oh, well, yeah, sure, whatever. A luxurious hair from the chest of a truly remarkable specimen of masculinity. So we got Jeff Goldblum's chest hair, apparently. Thanks, it's for... I probably just don't want to know. I'm out. See ya. Nope, fair enough. Nothing left to do with the machine. Chamber is empty. Flies. Well, we did the thing. We did the thing. Alright. Well, that's something you don't see every day. This is a rare collector's item, apparently. Well, there's something you don't see every day. A big haunch of raw meat hanging from a tree in the middle of a swamp. Or at least, I don't see that every day. Maybe you spend more time in swamps than I do. Well, I don't know what Louisiana's like. I'm not going to make that joke. Anyway, not wanting to let perfectly good haunch go to waste, you approach it. With a cartoonist sprawling, you and Alphonse find yourself trapped in a big net hanging from a tree. Well, dang it. Tear yourself loose. Fortunately, the net is rather shoddily constructed. It's just made of vines, and heck if you're going to let some stupid vines get the better of you. After a short struggle, you manage to tear the net open, and you and Alphonse drop free and escape with the goods. You got an item, swamp haunch. The slab of bone and flesh from some animals too distasteful to even mention, let alone eat. But I want it.
Hey, buddy. Hi.
Hey, did you get Flyman? Did you get the, blush? Yes, I got it here, creepy lady. Oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna put it in this little silver locket and treasure it forever. What's he like? Was his experiment a success? I got to go. The kid takes your sash and pins another badge to it and hands it back to you. Cool, cool. Elaborate homemade radio. Leave. Alright, this kid is preoccupied with repeatedly smelling 2 large test tubes. What have you got there? Perfume samples? Kinda. This one's a combination of hydrogen sulfide and methane. A common swamp gas, basically. What's the other one? Also, it doesn't seem like it's picking up the game audio. I'm gonna redo that real fast, just to see if that fixes it. Scuff is real, friends. Scuff is real. There we go. This one's kind of... What's the other one? Coffee to clear the swamp gas smell out of my nose. You know what? That's fair. Coffee smells great. Huh, okay, so why? I'm researching a creature known as the Smell-o'-the-Wisp. I've only run into it once, but I have a good memory for smells, so I figure if I can match its smell, that particular chemical mix will tell me more about it. Smell of the what? Wisp. It's a cloud of intelligent swamp gas. Some people say it's a ghost of dead chili cook-off judge. But I think there's probably a more scientific explanation. You're telling me you're looking for an intelligent... The girl gestures sternly at the sign over her workbench. No fart jokes. Oh, come on! It's the Smell-o'-the-Wisp. No. Well, I don't know what to say then. If you're willing to help me instead of making puerile goofs, I could really use a sample to analyze. Okay, I'll go find the Smell-o'-the-Wisp. Oh, thank you. Here, take this. It should help you track the thing down. Got an item. Nose trumpet. That's not how that works. So I just smell through this? Yeah, just follow your nose. For the fruity taste that shows? Are we talking about Fruit Loops? I actually don't like cereal, so I just remember the slogan. A big cone designed to make it so people who have lost their sense of smell can still tell what they've stepped in. This kid is just, well, he's eating something.
Hi. What you doing, buddy? Yeah.
You're browsing your way through the swamp. Browsing? This isn't a store. Taking a sniff through your nose trumpet now and then. This swamp smells terrible. I mean, a swamp is literally just standing water and rotting compost, the biome. This is actually, a swamp is literally just a wet forest. A very, very wet forest. So it's not like that's news or anything. But you wouldn't be surprised if the swamp was at least nominated for World's Worst Smelling Swamp. Oh God in heaven, what is that? Something smells like a rotten egg mated with a tire fire, and the egg the tire fire laid also went rotten. Squinting through the tears, you see a patch of brown air hovering nearby. That must be the smell of the wisp that kid was looking for. Run up and grab it. Holding your nose and your breath, you run up and snatch at the wisp before it can fly away, collecting a clump of air so foul it sticks to your hand. Oh, gross. Fortunately, you've got an empty jar you can scrape it off into. Stink ester, an essential distillation of foulness. Blech. Talk to her. Did you find the smell of the wisp? I sure did. Please don't open the jar while I'm in the room. That bad, huh? I wonder if it's gotten stronger since I met it. Anyway, thanks for your help. You hand over the nose trumpet she lent you and the jar of foulness you collected. The kid takes your sash and pins another badge to it, and hands it back to you. Oh, yay! Do we get to collect all the merit badges? Alright. This kid is studying far more intently than you ever did at his age. You know what? I was a bookworm as a kid. I doubt that. What are you reading? It's about Neanderthals and other early hominids. Unfortunately, I'm not finding anything useful in here. What are you looking for? The honey ape. Oh, honey badger. The what now? You've never heard of it? It's a very famous monster. It's a hairy primate-like creature. It's smaller than a human, with a human-sized hands. Most of the legends call it big hands, but I'm pretty sure big hands legends and the reports of the honey ape sightings are referring to the same cryptid. That's interesting. I know, it lives around here somewhere. I just haven't been able to find it yet. I'll help you look for it. That would be excellent, thank you. Here, I found some of its prints and made a tracing. It might help you track it down. Try and get one of its fingernails as proof. How will a fingernail be proof? Because it's as big as a human fingernail, obviously. Honey ape handprint. You are assured this is the handprint of the honey ape, and not just a handprint of a regular guy. Without any further ado, we'll get out of this kid's laboratory. A shotgun-toting gator hunter hollers at you from behind. You again? I told you to get. Didn't I give you enough money for the bus? Well, here. Cool. Are we gonna have to fight this dude eventually? You find a chunk of oil shale jutting out of a stagnant pool, making the surrounding water all greasy and colorful. Analyze the shale. You ask the shale about its mother, and it cries tears of shellac. Some shellac comes from insects, but you don't know that it basically can come from anywhere. Alright. A portly man in a white linen suit sitting in a wicker chair in the flat-bottomed boat is being fanned by two large bats as he pulls his craft through the murky swamp water. I say, pardon me, young man, but might I prevail upon you to lend me some navigatory assistance? I consider myself a man with a sense of direction, but I must admit this bio has gotten me turned right around. Well, to start, you're too far west to call this swamp a bayou. Well, now I must be just a simple country Dracula, but I'd have thought I could tell the difference between the bayou and some damned Yankee swamp. Have I really missed the Louisville by that much? I'm afraid so. By more than 800 miles as a bat flies. Well, tarnation, I'll never be able to make it to the Derby at this rate. Now I was looking forward to that mint julep. Reckon I'll just have to make do with a... Is your name Mary by chance? No, it's Calvin. A bloody Calvin? Well, any port in a storm, as the poet says. Help him out. How about instead of drinking me, I let you put a couple of navigation and velocity spells on your boat? You could make it to the Derby in time for the last call. Well now, son, if you can accomplish that, I'd be right indebted to you. You cast a charm on his boat to create a strong water current beneath it, and he zips away with a yee-haw! Navigation spells, on the other hand, are clearly not your thing. Anyway, you haven't got an idea how to get to Kentucky from here. That will probably be less of a problem for him than the fact that he's now traveling on running water, though.
Find food. Your take.
Oh, thanks. You got an item. Shadow Pickle. No jokes. I can sense it, chat. No jokes. Where did you find this?
Hole.
Could you elaborate?
Shut up.
Okay, never mind. You can make jokes. He found a pickle in a hole. Like, that joke writes itself. That's an odd patch of... That's odd. This patch of muddy ground has a lot of tracks in it that look like human handprints. Well, except for the fact that humans don't normally walk around on their hands. Maybe there was an acrobat convention in the middle of a swamp. Oh, what was that one kid talking about? The honey ape? Maybe there's something to it after all. Follow the tracks. Geez, the more you look, the more of a confusing, trampled mess these tracks are. It seems like a different set of tracks heading in different directions. How many thumbs did he say this thing had? On one hand? 4. Okay, how many fingers was it? Oh! Shuttered Chaos, thank you for joining the shareholders. Welcome to Corp Communications. I hope you enjoyed yourself here. How many fingers was it? 3? Rats. One. 4. Oh, hello. We'll be lurking as I meet you. Not a problem at all. You get the rest you need. After all, I usually keep my VODs up here, and they're also always posted on my YouTube to view. You follow the prince to the clearing in the middle of a small stand of trees. To your surprise, you find an animal pretty much like the honey ape the kid described. Like a somewhat larger chimpanzee, or a very small gorilla, but with disproportionately large and human-like hands. It's sitting on the ground, casually drinking out of a beehive, and doesn't seem to have noticed you yet. We's gonna fight! I feel like wrestling. Alright. Crowd control. Summon cheese. Splatter. Splatter again. This is going to get rid of at least one of these guys. Get rid of the bees. Multi-shot again. And done. You won! The honey ape's unconscious state makes it much easier to pull off one's... Oh! Why are these kids wanting, like, horrible mementos of these things? Pulling off a fingernail. Ah! The honey... A totally normal-sized fingernail. Marvel at it. Yes, a totally normal crime we have committed.
What's up, bud?
Alright. Turns out you were right, the honey ape is totally real. Oh my gosh, really? I knew it! Here's your tracing back that fingernail you wanted. Wow. Huh. Something wrong? I guess I'm torn between excitement, vindication, and the fact that this is just a much grislier object than I realized it was. Have you ever pulled off your own fingernail, kid? That might have given you a clue. Oh, don't worry about it. The honey will be fine. It had 9 more. I guess that's true. Anyway, thank you for your help. Here's another Monster Squad badge. I clearly did not. I was trying to do an impression of Dexter from Dexter's Lab's accent. I clearly did not succeed. So, I apologize. I apologize immensely. Oh, we got another Monster Club sash. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. This kid's, he's eating something. Hi there. Hi. I don't mean to be rude, kid, but what's your deal? I'm a moss man. You are, huh? Okay, well, not really. I want to be a moss man when I grow up. That's why I'm eating all this fertilizer. It's actually cornflakes. I'm just pretending. Okay. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Some people say I'm crazy for believing in the Moss Man, though, but he's... Now I'm wondering if whoever did the voice of Dexter also voiced Mojo Jojo. I don't know. So here's the thing, okay? Usually when they have kids specifically voiced in cartoons, usually they will have a woman do the voice acting. Like, who is it? Tara Strong, I think, did the voice of Timmy Turner from Fairly Odd Parents. And Dexter kind of has the same timbre of voice. You know what? We're going to sell this. Who voiced Mojo Jojo? Mojo Jojo was voiced by Roger L. Jackson. And Dexter was voiced by 2 voice actors, Candy Milo, or Milo, it could be either, because they spell the same, and Christine Cavanaugh. I'm probably vastly misremembering. I would say, though, I remember Mojo Jojo sounding like this. And Dexter's more, Didi, get out of my laboratory! But more like a kid's voice. Alright. Oh, hey, you should go see him for yourself, and if you bring back proof he exists, he won't think I'm weird anymore. Sure, I'll have a look. Great, here's the place on your map. It's called Moss Rock Grotto. If you see him, try to bring back some moss as proof, okay? Okay. I've definitely heard of Christine Cavanaugh. The name sounds familiar, but that's the extent of it for me, other than today learning that she voiced Dexter for at least part of the series. Whether it was the early or later part of the series, I have no idea. Because they had a reboot which changed, in particular, the dad's design, if I recall. Alright. A black shape looms into view. At first it's difficult to make out from the silhouette, but it seems to be a massive shadow brute. It doesn't immediately react to your presence. Perhaps it's facing away, although again, it's hard to tell. From its movements, it seems to be eating something. Okay, we're fighting people. Alright. Crowd control. Crowd control. Crowd control. Does whatever a crowd control does. Whap the back on the head. You won. Successfully banished the horrible creature back to where it came from. If only that were a little farther away. Hey, buddy. All the items on this table are either made of or covered in moss. This moss is twinkling for some reason. Well, if this isn't the Moss Man that kid was talking about, you've got a real unusual coincidence here. He doesn't exactly look fearsome, but if you're looking for a fight, it might be best to take advantage of a surprise. Talk to him. Excuse me, are you a Moss Man? Yep, that's me, Clyde Moss Man. Pleased to meet you. Hi, I'm Calvin Cawthorne. Welcome to my humble abode. I ain't got many visitors, well, except some weird kid I sometimes see peeking around. Are you actually Moss Man? I ain't quite sure I get your meaning. That's my last name, like I said. Yeah, but are you a human person or some sort of moss swamp creature? I get that this is a strange and possibly rude question. Well, I weren't always this way, but I've been living in the swamp a long time. Just kind of dug in and got comfortable. The moss just sort of grows on me natural like now instead of hair. I guess it happened so gradual and I got so accustomed to it, it didn't occur to me to question it. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to give you some kind of philosophical crisis. No apology necessary, friend, but it is something I'm going to be chewing on for a while. Can I have some of your moss? Excuse me, you dropped an existential bombshell on me and now you're asking for part of me body? I'm really not in top social form today. I guess I do need some of that moss, though. Well, I'll tell you what, help me solve this puzzle of whether I'm a man or a monster and I'll give you some moss. Well, the way I see it, you seem intelligent.
Buddy. Do not touch the modem. It is going to cause problems. It is going to cause me many problems.
Well, the way I see it, you seem intelligent and can hold a conversation and haven't tried to murder me for my delicious organ meats. How do you know they're delicious? So I figure, what does it really mean to be a human anyway? You may well be less Homo sapien and more whatever the technical term for moss is, but does that really matter in the grand scheme of things? What's really important is just being a good person, whatever kind of person you are. Well, that's real, even if it's an extremely weird kind of person. Well, that's real good of you to say, friend. Guess that answers my question. Great. Here, let me give you some of my moss, like I promised. He peels off some of his mustache and hands it to you. A lip-shaped slab of moss. Thanks. Say, are you a hobo? Well, the thing about hobos is that they're always on the move. Feels like I'm practically the opposite of a hobo. I happen to know a group of hobos that have settled down and put themselves a pretty nice camp. I bet you'd be welcome there if you're interested. Well, now, I do value my solitude, but I certainly couldn't do any harm to visit and see. In fact, I do believe I'm due for a vacation. You mark the location of the hobo camp on Clyde's map and head off into the swamp with a wave.
What you doing, buddy? You getting into things you're not supposed to?
Alright. A quite embarrassed gentleman, waist-deep in swamp monk, gives you a wave. Seems to be stuck, but I'm not too proud to ask for help. Unfortunately, you're too weak to give it. How dare. Wait, does he not have any hobo code then? I don't know if he does. We'll find out if we go visit him at the hobo camp, though. Alright. This kid is... I met the moss man you were talking about. See, I told you he's a wheel. Yeah, he's a pretty decent guy, actually. He gave me his mustache. Oh my gosh, that's amazing! We ended up putting some peg yard behind the computer desk to keep the little ones out of the cords. Pegboard. Yeah, for me, my modem and router is on a shelf which has very recently become within Baby Cawthorn's reach. Before, it was not a problem. I may consider putting it behind my desk. That might be a better place for it. You're welcome. Oh, hey, we finally got an achievement for this game. The kid happily sticks the mustache on his... Yep, darn kids keep growing. Baby Cawthorn is almost 2. He turns 2 next month in June. Crazy to think about. The kid happily sticks the mustache to his upper lip. How do I look? Mossy. This is the best day of my life. The kid takes your sash and pins another badge to it and hands it back to you. I got a Monster Club sash. And we are going to wear this. Why? Because it's got a shit ton of good boons. Alright. Leave, I guess. Well, let's pet the cat. Try to pet Boris. Boris looks at... Badge sash is open. Well, yeah, it's got like 6 effects! Boris looks down at your sash and nods approvingly. New cat unlocked. You can now pet Boris to receive a boon. Pet him now. We got 3 spooky armor from Boris. We like Boris. He's a good kitty. Also, it looks like we got an ad break in a few minutes, and when that happens, I'm going to go on a brief intermission to handle baby Cawthorn. Because, I smelled things that need attending to. Suddenly, silently, a flock of shadowy bats. Suddenly, bats. Be cleansed by flame. Shoot everyone. And now there's only like 3 left. You won. Get back to your Bauhaus album cover, you stupid bats. Alright, let's see what's in the frog bog. Frogs. Buddy, hey. Buddy. Ribbit. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. Help, ribbit. Hey, buddy. They're talking to me. I'm hearing voices. Alright. You know, that's kind of the irritating thing about the ad break is approaching thing on Twitch, is that it doesn't start right when the timer ends, which means I have to be like, okay, is it gonna go? Is it not gonna go? Well, I guess we're gonna wait. Guess I'm gonna get a nice stretch in. After all, streaming is a lot of hunching over my desk. Oh, there it goes. Intermission time.
Corvid Communications cares deeply about the physical, mental, and emotional health of its employees. In these next 3 videos, we will be going over how to handle all 3 aspects of your health. We will begin by going over what it means to be physically healthy. To begin, we must understand the purpose of the body. The body is the vessel for your consciousness, and in order for your consciousness to be happy, your body must be healthy and clean. At Corvid Communications, we expect you to be neat and clean each day. Your coworkers should not be able to smell the rancid odors that come from your disgusting bodily functions, whether that be the unpleasant odors of the body's flawed temperature regulation system, or the even more offensive odors of the body's waste disposal system. Here are some of the basic hygiene steps that must be followed in order to keep operations running smoothly. Bathing. Brushing your teeth. Using deodorant. Moisturizing your skin. Washing your hands. Wiping when using the restroom. Failure to follow these basic hygiene guidelines will result in disciplinary action. If you are following these guidelines exactly, and yet you find people are still unwilling to be in close proximity to you, perhaps consider the problem might be something else, and consult with your management team.
Perhaps we can elucidate the matter.
The human body requires food on a regular basis in order to continue performing basic bodily functions, in addition to any movements we make each and every day. As such, Corvid Communications provides employees with a 30-minute lunch each day. It is legally required for you to clock out during this time, but you are not permitted to leave the premises during this 30-minute window. Refusal to clock out or attempting to leave company property during the lunch break will result in disciplinary action. In addition to your mandated break, Corvid Communications provides free lunch to all employees to ensure that they are getting the correct nutrients to meet their body's physical needs. Eating the company-provided lunch is required. Employees may not bring their own lunch in or any other outside food.
Okay,
The food
we've
outside
had
the
enough
company
corporate
is full
training.
of
Let's get back
toxins.
to it. Hello again. Alright, the frogs are talking. Will we find enlightenment from our amphibious friends? Let's find out, shall we? You clear your throat. There was a frog in it. Maybe you don't use that. Maybe don't use that joke when talking to frogs. Hello, frogs. Not frogs, Ribbit. Humans. Humans. Not. Speak to the frogs. Wait, are you saying you're humans, not frogs? Right, yes, right. You think about what it would be like to be trapped in a frog's body. After a few seconds, you stop thinking about it because you don't like thinking about things that fill you with harrowing existential angst. Excuse me, I like filling my head with that sort of thing, thank you. How did this happen? Curse, statue, god, statue, frog, cave, quarry, ancient, quarry, curse, god. You struggle to make sense of the cat. Could you all stop talking except for one frog? Frogs, share, single, share, frogs, single, share. All the frogs share a single mind. Wow, that's incredible. That changes... Actually, you can't think of any significant consequences of what you just learned. You try to remember the last time you interacted with a specific frog and an individual, and it was... Uh-oh. That biology class. Probably not the best to bring that up. Is there some way I can help you? One of the larger frogs hops up and coughs loudly. A shining green object flies out of its mouth and sinks into the water. Grab it. You roll up your sleeve and plunge your hand into the nasty water. Your fingers find a hard object, which turns out to be... Wow. Shiny. You turn back to the frog. What should I do with this? The second frog approaches and belches up a soggy piece of paper. You decide to look at it, and instead of touching it with your hand, it appears to be a shipping label from a nearby quarry. Location unlocked. Haim Quarry. Good luck. I imagine it sounds more like this now. Good luck. You find an old medicine show wagon overturned in the swamp. Most of its contents have long since hazardously dissolved into the local ecosystem, but there's probably some stuff left. We got Bertworth's finest tooth wax, a Stypic pencil, and an activated charcoal briquette. I think it's been long enough, it's probably deactivated by now. There's a note on the door. Drive efficiently.
Excess gas usage will be deducted from your paycheck. Management.
Jeez. This guy seems a bit, talk to him. Hi there, Ribbit. This might be a strange question, but do you know anything about a curse? Ribbit. Your attitude says no, but your eyes, everything else says yes. Ribbit. Foreman. The other man doesn't look very happy to be a frog, or the other way around, or whatever. Hi there. Ribbit. Nice suit. You look like a fancy guy. Ribbit. You basically run the frog lottery, huh? Ribbit. There's a painting of a safe. Is this meant to be reverse psychology? You push the painting aside and find, surprise, a safe. Unfortunately, it's a key-type safe and you don't have the key. Not that the combination lock would have been much better, but you could have twiddled the dial and hoped to get lucky. Your assumption was correct. It's a bookshelf full of books. It's all books on management with titles like Shaking the Invisible Hand, You Deserve More, and How to Get Blood Out of the Turnips You Hired. I could use some of these. The remains of a fancy meal with fancy condiments. The foreman's desk, presumably. You find a key labeled Mess and a gun labeled Bess in 2 different drawers. There's some papers and stuff, but none of it's significant to you. Personnel files for everybody who works as or has ever worked at this quarry. Check this quarry. You give the files a quick ruffle through. They tend to be very thin. People who were hired and then quit real fast. There's only a handful of current records and they aren't very interesting. Look up Calvin Cawthorn. What? You don't work here. I still don't really believe you worked at the gas station or that restaurant. Look up Calvin Cawthorn. Fine. You flip through the folders and holy crap, there you are. Calvin Cawthorn. What the heck? Yeah, I get around. That is the 3rd time that has been in this game. This hat rack is dressed like a cowboy. Take the hat. You unlocked an item. Intimidating Stetson. When you see the guy wearing a hat like this, you think to yourself, this guy has a good sense of style and is probably about to punch me for no reason. Just makes me think of the song, Me, more cowboy than you. The door is locked, presumably so the food doesn't escape. There we go, you leave the key on the windowsill. This table is swarming with flies. Looks like these people got so hungry they started eating the cabinet doors. Got a sharpening stone and junk mail. This range doesn't even have a gas line connected to it. I guess you could warm something up to room temperature. From the looks of the crust on these dishes, the food here wasn't very good even before it spoiled. Some cruel soul turned this radio to static and then walked away. You tune the radio to WGCR and hold Rufus' gadget up to it. The thing clicks a few times and the little needle goes up to 11. Then you restore the radio to the way you found it, making Mom proud. Presumably these lockers are where the employees keep their personal possessions. That frog lady's watching and seems real agitated. Better leave them alone. The lady seems real nervous about something, although the way she's hopping around the floor makes it difficult to judge her body language the regular way. Hi, ma'am. Ribbit. Can you tell me, can you communicate in some way anything about a curse? Ribbit. Oh, please don't do that thing with your neck. Ribbit. The oil in this lamp has dried up. Okay, nothing I can do there. Okay, cool. She seems real agitated. Hi, excuse me, Ribbit. Have you seen any cursed frog idols around? He sticks his tongue out as a fly buzzes past and seemed confused and disappointed by its length. Oh boy, good luck with that. Ribbit. Leave. This is either a guy who thinks he's a frog or the soul of a frog trapped in the body of a guy. Or a really good method actor rehearsing the Toad of Toad Hell. Here's another one of those froggy men. Hi, Ribbit. If I asked you if you were a frog trapped in a man's body, would you have any way to answer that question that I would be able to understand? Ribbit. I guess I don't know what I was expecting. Ribbit. Okay, it's a crude but large statue of a frog. Looks pretty old, it has a single glowing emerald eye. This frog person seems more cheerful about the situation than the others you've seen. Talk to him. Hey, don't touch that. A talking, man. That's right, I'm a human man and not a frog at all. I have reason to believe that you're actually a frog in a man's body somehow. Well, it's my body now, and I'm keeping it. I don't need any dry-skinned legwalkers coming in here and... Holy hop, you've got the missing eye! This big emerald? Yeah, I was just noticing that it looks an awful lot like this other one. Oh, I absolutely need you to step away from that statue right hopping now. You don't want me to fix it? It's very important. It's an ancient idol of the frog god. And when the humans blasphemed against it by removing that eye, this particular human right here, I might add, they were cursed with the great croaking one's righteous fury. Oh, so that's why all the people here and the frogs in that bog nearby. Yeah, you guessed it, it's the old Freaky Friday routine. I don't know what that means. Forget about it. The point is the humans did the crime, so now it's the frog's time to shine. And if you put the eye back, it does the curse. Yeah, oh Hop, maybe I shouldn't have told you that. Those frogs, people really want their bodies back. Well, so hopping what? Hop then. Jeez, man. Look, take your inherent pro-human bias into account and consider the justice of the situation, okay? These people come rolling in here with their machines and stuff, tear up our land, spill oil and gasoline everywhere. Then they find this ancient religious icon, and the first thing they do is try to loot it. These aren't good people, and they got what's coming from them. Well, what should I do? Tell you what, take out the other eye of the statue. What? I don't want to be a frog. Oh, don't worry about that. It won't curse you. What it will do is make the original curse permanent. No takebacks, no do-overs. That's justice, tadpole. Tell you what, I'll sweeten the deal. You can keep the emeralds. Heck, I'll make a necklace for you if you like. I'm still getting used to having a neck myself. Okay, I'll take out the other eye. Lie. Great, go ahead and help yourself. This will be a real weight on your shoulders. Mess with it. Return the missing eye. In the interest of full disclosure, I should point out that this is a one-way decision. If you mess with the idol, you won't be able to change your mind afterwards, so don't mess this up. Return the missing eye. No, don't! Your sock get the missing emerald back into the statue. Both eyes flash with a brilliant green light, then dim again. No! No! Hop you! Hop you, you bastard! Ugh, you okay? My brain feels slimy. Gross. Hey, are you, the original you? I'm the actual human guy, yeah. My name's Roger. Thanks for your help. I think it would have been gone crazy if I'd been trapped as a frog much longer. Though I guess there isn't a lot of practical difference between a crazy frog and a sane one. No problem, Roger. I was happy to help. Well, if that's true, we got another problem. What's up? You see, I don't know how much of the situation you saw about this quarry, but it's a really terrible place to work. It does seem kind of run down. It doesn't need to be. That's the thing. We turn a good profit, but the foreman refuses to spend any more than the absolute minimum on the facilities and wages. And meanwhile, he's eating caviar for lunch like he's John D. friggin' Rockefeller. Jeez. You should have seen his face when I showed him that idol. His tongue hit the floor like a cartoon wolf. He's getting yacht catalogs in the mail, while us that do the actual work got to take turns sleeping on one bed. Why don't you quit? We tried to start a union, but he just called in the Pinkertons to rough us up. The darndest things happen. Yeah, that is, that's the Loathing games for you. Same thing happens in, West of Loathing, and I'm pretty sure Kingdom of Loathing, too. Though I never got too far in that one. Browser game energy costs. They make the game take way too long, and I eventually lose interest. So we decided to take our chances anyway. See that tunnel back there on the left? That comes out past the trees, and if we snuck out at night, he probably wouldn't spot us. We could be out of here and well on our way home to town by morning. You're planning to cross the swamp at night. That doesn't sound like a smart plan. It's not much of a plan, but it's the only plan we got. The only problem is that tunnel's full of flies. It's some kind of nest. And you need someone to clean out the tunnel for you. That's about the size of it, and the size of those flies is real big. Swell. I'll need you to kill any maggots in there too so they don't come back. Ew. Haven't got anything to pay you with, but we really appreciate the favor. Well, okay. These flies are large and aggressive. That's 2 understatements for the price of 1. Well, I know how to do this. Summon cheese, familiar! Well, I mean, I'm casting magic with cheese, so yeah, darnest things is about the... That's about the lay of it, I'd say. Okay, kill 1 giant fly, I think. 1 down. 2 down. Shooty. You won. Non-usually large flies on you. A vein of extra bloody hematite. Asked for a donation. We got Hemetic Ecor. Giant pile of squirming maggots. Also, a squirming pile of giant maggots. Destroy the horrible things. You're going to have to stomp them and squelch them basically individually. It's going to be super disgusting. Would you like to read a full description of that, or shall we just move on? Chat, I'm going to ask your opinion. Do you want the gory details or no? I kind of want to see the gory details, but also I'm afraid of what I am about to read. Screw it, gory details. Just to be clear, there is no bonus item or achievement or other special reward for reading the gross version, and it's going to be as long as I can stand to make it. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. Okay. Is the sound of me cracking my knuckles. You pick up one of the maggots. It's about the size and shape of a medium to large sweet potato or yam, depending on where you're from. But instead of brownish orange, it's a sickly white color, ridged like an earthworm, both fleshy and rubbery, and covered in a clear sticky mucus. It wriggles and pulses in your hand. You drop it on the ground and stomp it. It bursts with a pop squelch sort of sound, spraying lumps of that piled white flesh and a greenish-yellow juice in a circle around the point of impact. When you lift your foot again and it sticks to the floor and makes a sound as you peel the sole of your shoe away. Keep going. I'm going to see if I can gross out the narrator. Because I like tormenting the narrator of this game. You pick up 2 more maggots. They wiggle in your hands, as though they can sense what is happening. The mucus covering him in your hands now has the texture and viscosity of a lightly thinned down rubber cement. It glistens in the dim light and makes stands and webs between your fingers as you open and close your hands. You drop the 2 maggots on the ground and stomp them 1 foot each. Splurt, smack. The spray looks like lumps of old mayonnaise mixed with the juice from an expired camping glow stick. The added liquid is making the floor slimy instead of sticky now, and you have to move more carefully to keep your footing. You approach the pile again. You pick up another maggot. It sticks to your hand as it rises, and you can feel the glue-like mucus pulling softly at your skin. The fluids pumping around it inside it make it pulse faintly like a slowly beating heart. You squeeze it gently at first, then harder. It has the rubbery resistance of a half-filled water balloon. Imagine a white balloon partially filled with warm green milk, and how it would feel to squeeze that in your fist. There's a thin, high-pitched squealing sound as it bulges at the ends and then bursts, spraying you with, by appearances, ranted cottage cheese and antifreeze. Now's when you start to notice the smell. This is a true story. Once, when I was a junior in high school, I tripped and skinned my left elbow on the sidewalk, a patch of bleeding road rash a little larger than a quarter. I washed it off and put a bandage over it and forgot about it. Until a few days later when I noticed the smell, because my classmate sitting near me had noticed the smell, and wondered aloud where it was coming from. My injury had become infected, and the bandage was soaked with pus. The smell is immediately identifiable, but if you never smelled it, it smells a lot like rotting apples. About the time they're completely brown and soft and have started to leak and collapse under their own weight. Close your eyes and take a deep breath through your nose. Imagine that smell filling your sinuses, except with an undertone of sour milk. That is what you're smelling now. Keep going. You pick up a maggot in each hand and squeeze them. They thrash in your hands and squeal, a thin, high-pitched noise like a pinhole in an air mattress. You close your eyes as they burst, and a warm, clotted innards splatter your face, then ooze down and drip onto your shirt. You might expect their insides to be cold, as insects are cold-blooded. But in fact, maggots generate a fair amount of heat through their metabolism. A muscular contraction. In terms of extremes, it's like being splattered in the face with a bowl of warm bolognese sauce. Or perhaps more accurately, if someone projectile vomited onto your face after eating a bowl of warm bolognese sauce. I'm going to take a drink before taking the next paragraph, because this is a lot of text. The smell of rotting fruit and sour milk is thick in the air now. Some of the juice got into your mouth. I don't really have a point of the comparison for the taste, but I might imagine it tastes much the same as it smelled. A little more acrid, maybe. Keep going. Killing the maggots in ones and twos is clearly going to take too long, so you jump as high as you can and stomp heavily into the pile with both feet. The sound it makes is sort of a thwack crunch splat, all at the same time, and you're up to your waist in thrashing white mucus-coated grubs. You lift a foot, but lose your balance and fall backwards into the pile. Imagine falling backward onto a ball pit filled with overripe tomatoes and long-expired milk, except the tomatoes are alive and crawling on you. Now they have covered you. They are everywhere. You roll around, crushing the squirming maggots beneath you, feeling each distinct burst as the rubbery grubs pop under your weight and spray more yellow-green bile and lumps of white bristle into the growing pool of sweet and sour-smelling slime. Eventually, you stop, out of breath, but not wanting to breathe. It doesn't matter because the putrid glop has gotten up your nose and in your mouth and down your throat regardless of your desires. You might guess that you had become accustomed to the smell by now, but no. You still smell it, and you will never stop smelling that rotten fruit stench for the rest of your life. You are lying in a pool of chunky maggot stew, covered in the pulp of hundreds of butt-burst grubs, your clothing soaked entirely through to the skin with mucus and stinking green juice, every crevice filled with pallid white curds. You are the ungodly avatar of putrescence and filth upon this miserable earth. Anyway, thanks for reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I did not. Looks like you missed one. It seems it really enjoys riding around in your head, so you haven't got the heart to kill it. No bonus item, huh? I read all of that. I take it I can't take that one off my head. Or can I?
Abba.
There we go. Oh, there's more. Roy gives you a tired nod. Hi, how's it? Oh my god, don't come any closer. What are you covered in? Oh, this? Maggot guts. Well, thank you for cleaning out the tunnel. Please leave the enclosed space and get some fresh air. Don't worry, I'll be fine. I was saying it more for my benefit. Everything all right? I'm really thirsty for some reason, which is weird because water is practically the only thing we get to eat around here. Is it clean at least? Calling it that would be a real stretch, but it's all right once your immune system gets acclimated. I grew this mustache to help filter it. The guy isn't uncomfortable, but hopeful look on his face. Everything all right? My tongue hurts, and I've got kind of a gross taste in my mouth. Oh, I've mainly been eating shoe leather, though, so that isn't really new. Well, it might be new in a way. This lady appears anxious and tired. Oh, I don't like to complain, but I'm so tired. When I took this job as an office assistant, I never imagined I'd be in charge of all the cleaning and maintenance around the camp as well. There's so much, and I'm only one person. Geez, that's rough. And now I'm having these weird dreams about frogs. Honestly, it makes me regret giving up laudanum. Well, hopefully Roger's plan works out. Mess hall. This guy's the look of someone who is trying desperately to stay awake and has been doing so for way too long. Are you okay? That depends on whether you're real or I'm hallucinating you. I'm real. The frog thing, though, that was a hallucination, right? No, that was real too. If you're about to tell me my shoelaces are really butterflies, I should warn you, I don't know how I'll react to that. Maybe you should get some sleep.
Scram, I'm busy.
Alright, I'll leave you to that, friends. Let's go to the amphibious truck. I think that's like the one thing we haven't done yet. You come across a man stuck to his elbow in sludge. Yes, I do appear to be stuck, but I'm too proud to ask for help. Well, we'll leave him be then. We'll respect his wishes. Wait, don't I have to return to... Let's go to the bus stop real fast, actually. We need to go to SIT. Rufus's lab. Walk through the steam. Talk to him. Oh, hello again. Give him back the receiver. Here's your receiver thingy. I hope it got enough clicks and bloops for you. Thanks, I'll give you a ring when I finish doing the math. Alright then. Alright, I'm guessing we're gonna need to go to... Where's it now? Bus stop. Ocean City. Babe Cawthorn, what you doing? Going to the antique store. No messages. map. Actually, wait, can I just sleep? You set up the Flemberg workbench on your desk. You put the crystal gave you on the shelf. Is that clear? Rub the crystal, consider the orb. Anything else? Nope. Alright, time to go to a place. The Big Moist. And now we're going back to the abandoned truck. You find a chunk of oil. Yes, I found oil shale. Let's get going. An abandoned truck. There's nothing amphibious about this truck. The cab door hangs limply. The truck has been abandoned for some time. There's nobody inside unless they are very small and hiding. Are they small and hiding? Search the seats. A newspaper left on the passenger seat is open to the classifieds page. Circles are advertised for Mr. Rat's Hotel for Working Women and the Dogs. Take the paper. You don't need it. It's yesterday's news. Search under the seats. The gas tank is located underneath the driver's seat, which has the advantage of lowering the truck's center of gravity. The tank is empty, which has the disadvantage of the truck not working. You also notice a tiny glint of metal, a key. Close the door. Largemouth bass and sons, got a key to shut. Yes, I am. Go on in. Unlock it. The key fits snugly in the lock. So snugly it can't get out, in fact, but it does the job nonetheless. Austere bedding testifies to the Tracy family's rigorous asceticism. One must purge the body and mind of all comfort and distraction to achieve the hyper-focus of a bass fisherman. Secret candies? A bass fisherman should not be vulnerable to such temptations. I got a spearmint taffy and a licorice taffy. The Spartan mattress holds no secrets. Look under the pillow. You got item 16 teeth. Blue Navy slicker is the sole resin of the coat rack. Fierce rummaging yields a letter in the right pocket. The envelope appears unopened. Got an item. Kathy's letter. Largemouth bass eyes peek through the slats in the locker. Alright. You're not supposed to be in this room. It's better if Adam doesn't see you leave for this door. Should I go through? Nah. How'd you get in that room? You're mistaken. I came through the other door. Fish are playing tricks on me. I just mind tricked him. He said, "Hey, I saw you come through the door." No, I didn't. Letter from Cassie Tracy, addressed only to Dad. The post office will never be able to deliver that. This envelope isn't sealed. You slide it open with D. Dad. All anyone cares about in this family is largemouth bass. Well, I'm sick of it. Ain't I a person? Ain't I deserve of being cared about too? I'm leaving, Dad, to a place where dreams are possible. You ain't never gonna find me because you don't know where that is. Love, Kathy. P.S. Say hi to Mom. Well, let's give it to him. You need to see this. I found these teeth under a pillow. Yes, those are mine. Do you believe in the tooth fairy? No. I found the company truck. Truck? Are you trying to say Tracy? Kathy Tracy? No, but finding the truck may help us find Kathy. It will? Where is she then? I don't know yet. See? So the truck may help us find her, but it may not. You need to see this. Adam Tracy pores over his letter, his brow sinking into deep furrows with each line. Ain't never, ain't I? My friend, those are Kroger contractions of Occam's gator. I didn't give Kathy a copy of Jane Eyre to have her contract him properly. No, this letter is an obvious ruse, friend. The good convo. Thank you for becoming a shareholder. Welcome to the Corporate Communication shareholders. Means technically you're my boss. How you doing, Combo? Occam's clumsy attempt to throw us off the scent. You're delusional. I'm not yet see any evidence of that. I'll be on my way. But yeah, I hope you are well. Yes, you are a corporate person now. Talk to him. I found the company truck. You're meant to be fine. The truck is the key to finding your son. It's looking more and more like Tom ran away from home. You see? Oh my gosh, these bass fishermen are just morons. Morons. You see a plume of smoke coming from behind a nearby clump of trees. As you draw near the bush, a sound of ragged cackling and giggling can be heard, or it could be a real coven of real swamp witches. Sadly, no. What you do find is possibly even weirder. A gang of scrangly-looking swamp hillbilly vampires tending a ratty old still. Oh, hi, you fellas cooking up a batch of corn? Nope, rats. I magicked up a solution, apparently. Well, let's go back to the abandoned truck, I guess. See if there's anything else there. Alright. Let's hit them with a fiery cheese rain. 'Cause yes, the wizards in this game fight with cheese. I summon cheese from beyond. I fight by basically shooting molten Stilton at people. This is our life now. Embrace it. You won. Get back to your Bauhaus album cover, you stupid bats. There's nothing amphibious about this truck. Oh. Black smoke billows from the cowl. That engine is cooked. Eat the engine. You can't eat something just because it's cooked. Eat the engine. It's far too large to eat. Eat the engine. It's just not possible to eat the engine. Eat the engine. It would kill you if you try. Eat the engine. Gurning yourself against the overbearing heat, you wrench open the cowl and peer through the smoke, only to find that someone has beaten you to it. The engine has already been eaten. Next chance I get back eating an engine. Oh, this game. Okay, search under the seats. Search the seats. Close the door. Wait, hotel for working women. I'm willing to bet that's in Ocean City, or it's going to be somewhere around here. Found a salad in a hole, apparently. Alright, help him out. That's the second vampire I've sent fleeing into the places. A whistling man paddles a canoe through 2 inches of swamp water. He hits a rock and capsizes. In the very shallow slime, he thrashes about and splashes, screaming about gators. It's 2 inches of water. He will be fine. Take the good bits. There seems to be nothing here. A geyser of swamp gas erupts nearby with a loud sound and a brownish yellow cloud. I won't even bother trying to describe the smell. I'm sure you can imagine it by yourself. It's a large swarm of stink bugs quickly arrive and start zooming around the gas cloud. Toss a match at the geyser. Well, that's one way to get rid of a fight, I suppose. Shrug. What can you do? What can you do? Harrow. Okay, I'm gonna guess it's somewhere else at this point. Ocean City, maybe? Let's try wandering around, I guess. Sing to them. I could use a paperclip, actually. Oh, let's go to the hobo camp, check in with our friends. Bite. Unleash cheese. More cheese at them. Unleash more cheese. And hit the potato bug. There's an old gravestone here. Pepperidge Dolphin. What the heck? Pepperidge Dolphin died 150 years ago. Then was that band the boxer? Go. Hello again. Gah! Oh, did I startle you? Pepperidge, you're alive. Well, yes. Was that the question? This gravestone says, ah, I see. No. This was my great-grandfather's. I was named after him and decided to bring it with me as another souvenir. In addition to my father's padlock connection. I guess that makes sense. Let's see, it's Pepperidge Dolphin. He looks like he's still adjusting to orthological life. Let me ask you something. Do you know any hobo code? I have learned some since my arrival. At least I can do after the help you've given me. Hell, here, I'll write it down. He wrote something down on a scrap of paper and hands it to you. I don't really understand this one. He takes the paper and rotates it about 30 degrees and hands it back. Alright. Can you teach me any hobo code? Ask him about something else, see what he's selling. Delicious oyster. Disposable razor blade. Mom pistol, titanium staple removers. Guess I'll buy it, because it seems like it's kind of handy to have. Talk to him. So about the secret plans. Well, you have been very helpful. Where are you from? Hoboken. Talk to him. Well, good. Talk to her. Maybe it's in cryptography? Desktop radio. What's the stuff in this room? Nothing interesting. Just learns about them. He doesn't even know anything. I like the music here. It's very catchy. Mossman! Hi, Clyde. Oh, hi, Calvin. Right, thanks for reporting me. This place is pretty great. Everyone here is real friendly-like. Nice. So aren't you missing the solitude of the swamp? Nope. Turns out it's less important to me than just being able to sit and not do much. I've been helping out by growing herbs for the kitchen. Ask about Hoboco. Sure, I picked up a couple times. Here's one for keep off the grass. Due to condiments are available to camp residents. Wait, can you sell me condiments? $52 continues to tickle the ivories. Oh, hey. You got my glasses case. Do you know a guy named Greasy Steve? Sure, it's my brother. We don't really get along, though. What's he up to? Working for the mob? Figures. Wait, so your parents named you both Steve? No, they named me Creamy and him Greasy. Ew. Alright. I'll stop. Maybe go to the campus? Wander, I guess. Surrender. Yes. How do I find... Bus stop? Guess we're going back to Ocean City. Unless the hotel's at, like... Crystal Dream Lake. Crystal Dream Lake. Looks like no. So Big Moist it is, I guess. Oh. Hi. Hold on. Are you Tommy and Kathy? Tom Chapman and Kathy Tracy? The boy nods slightly. You can see you've put in the work to remember their surnames, and though you may be at a cross purposes, respects must be paid. Who wants to know? I've been looking literally everywhere for you. Really? Lots of times when folks say literally, they're not using it right. When people say it's literally raining on my wedding day, they're not talking about actual rain. I do actually mean it, though. Oh. Take a last look. We're on the next buckets out. Your folks back home think you were kidnapped or eaten. So utterly typical. They can't even conceive that someone might not want to live the same small little largemouth bass life they do. It's not even a life. It's not for us. The kind of life we want to live is only possible in the city. What kind of life is that? We're going to start a business of making wigs for judges. I don't think judges wear wigs in this country. It's going to be an international country. That's where the money is if you know anything about businesses. Is that a job? Are you? Don't be rude. God, I'm sorry, but that's like asking if cobbling is a job. Is cobbling a job? Now, you're going to get me with that again. I need to take you back to your parents. Hell to that, you need to take us back like a bass needs bones. We're not going back, pal, not ever. Largemouth Bass and Sons is a trap. All we can ever do is repeat the same old toxic patterns that our father did. Our grandfathers did. Debone fish, rebone fish, debone the fish. What's the point? It's a mindless life and it's never going to change. No, pal, not for us. Better die in poverty than live largemouth bass deboner or reboner. Alright. Listen, friend, we're not going back. Please! Oh. Oh, shit. No! Occam's Gator, you have no power here. Occam's Gator, that's a real guy? Occam's Gator is why he's the bane of our lives, our family's lives. He's haunted us and tortured us before I was ever born. Don't worry, I'll kick him between the tails. Back. Did you say back? Miserable back. We will be miserable if we go back. The gator sneers. To your surprise, the geese apparently has no intention of killing or eating the children, but means to return them home to... You want them to be miserable? Oh yes, miserable back. You don't know what Occam's Gator wants except our whole family miserable. I don't know why else he torments us. Hey, Gator, leave them kids alone. There's got to be a way we can work on violence. Apart from that, violence, misery. Okay, you want to tussle? Let's tussle. Alright. Fire. And seeing as I only have one guy I need to keep shooting. Thank you, Landmog, for your daily sacrifice. Always good to have you back. Good to see you. Okay, we've got this guy half dead. And we've got pretty good numbers on him. Alright. Shoot him. And Occam's Gator's dead. You gain 26 XP, dried swamp meats, Occam's Gator's toenail, an amphibious truck engine. The engine of an amphibious truck as partially digested from an oversized gator. Can I eat the engine? I want to eat the engine. He who does misery unto others will also have that misery done unto him, which is another way of saying, you beat Occam's Gator sexless and his reptilian remains have decomposed into swamp goop. Perhaps now the folks at Largemouth's Bass and Sons will tell stories about you. It's not like you don't deserve it. I don't know what to say. And nobody's ever done anything like that for me before. Kill a huge gatorman. Yeah, me neither. I don't know how I can repay you. Oh, there's money. I forgot about that for a second. Oh, it's not much, but would you want this free sample? Enjoy that, but mind you don't combine it with the jury's wig and executioner's wig. Nobody should have that much power. Hold on just now. Are you still trying to take us back? No, get on the bus. I give you my blessing. Thank you, Father. Huh. Oh, he said blessing, so I just assumed. No, it's fine. Still have a nice blessing anyway. Goodbye, then. Well, time to go to Largemouth Bass and Sons. I still haven't found the dude I've come here to get. Alright. Sorry about your daughter. I only hope she'll realize it was a mistake she made. Occam's Gator is dead. I'd like to believe you, but she died before. One time from a rifle shot to the head, another from TV. You always rise from the ash, Phoenix. Are you concerned about the future of your business without Kathy? We will suffer setbacks, as we've always done. Alright. Can I marry into your family? What do you do here? I ate your sandwich. No, you didn't. The one in the refrigerator's a decoy. Nobody's ever found the real thing. Splash some water on your face. I lost some effects. Well, guess we'll try to be reasonable with the dude. Climb up. Talk to him. Sorry about your son. Do you know, I'm actually proud of him. Always thought he was a dreamer, never realized he had those killer instincts for business. Oh, yeah, he's a good sort, Tom. Maybe I've been unfair to him. Are you worried about the future of your business? Success is only an issue if I die, wouldn't you agree? And that's far from inevitable. Especially if I invest in a good helmet. Occam's Gator is dead. You say that, but I'm not convinced he can actually die. I've seen him sucked into a biplane propeller only for his ooze to reconstitute himself into an even larger form. As far as I'm concerned, there's two constants in life. Death specifically and Occam's Gator. Not having one, and taxes. These things we're harangued about every month that sound very boring. What do you do here? See you seeing you. Okay. Keep searching for Charles in the Big Moist. Close. Alright, I think Gatorman Place is the place to go. Because I think now I can kill my way through them. Okay, this one's a less big one. Let's go to Gatorman Village. Well, we done finished a bunch of side quests. Alright, turn their tails to dust. Literally all I needed to do to get better at this game was just invest in my skills. Which I have now done, and now I have skills to pay bills. If that is the term the kids use these days still. Alright, get rid of the him, because he's probably here. That dude, these dudes probably just wreak havoc on you if you punch. Get rid of the screamer. Get rid of the screamer like it's a bad video game. Gator punch. Oh, I see. The beasts are too enthralled by the strange obelisk to notice you. Oh, we got a ad break coming up. Fascinating. Large and knotty finger of an eldritch energy. Touch it. Alright, let's see if I can find Alphonse in here. Sleepy Gatorman. Still weird. The void of shadow space is infinite. Leave him alone. Alright, let's see where the obelisk ends up. Still there, I guess. Oh. This wasn't here before. Well, that looks terrifying. You are not alone in this place. Something. Wait, I don't sound like that. I can see everything. I can see everything? What do you mean? In the portal. Neat new tip needs in our world, in this one, and all the worlds in between, ever was and ever will be, everything that is to be known. In the portal, I can see everything that... He's seeing that the portal, and he can see everything. Yes, I got that, narrator. I can read backwards. Well, let me look at that. According to the floating man, all worldly knowledge is contained in the swirling, convulsing star field. Your eyes bend to the writhing contours of the deep black and star-smeared tunnel, preparing nervously to receive the sum of all human and extraterrestrial knowledge. In the tunnel's bright center, you see a field, a cow, and a suckling puffin. And a cow suckling a puffin. The farmer is watching. That's fine, but not what I'm looking for. I don't think that portal contains some of all worldly knowledge. It's just letting you look at a farm where the cow is nursing a puffin, and there's a farmer standing nearby and watching that all happen. He blinks backwards. You're really enjoying that, huh? Can't leave. Can't leave? Why not? Midnight Man. You can't leave because of the Midnight Man. Yes. Midnight Man. Is that the boss I'm gonna run into who's out here? Touch it. Might as well. Another obelisk. Well, I know this works. Tilt the thing. Will this take me to the Midnight Man? What's that, bud? Ooh! Okay, now we're just back to this. Great. Ooh. Oh, there we go. The sneaky little devil prances about like a jester given free rein at court. This must be the Midnight Man. Whatever mischief is transpiring this realm, you sense he is lord of it. Whatever your vibes, I love it. Hey, thank. Hey, thank. Hey, let that man in the portal leave this place. Is that a no? Oh. Surely there's something you'll take in exchange for freeing that man. Shirley? Don't. Hey, who? And don't call me Shirley. Oh, is this funny to you? My sense of humor is deliciously twisted. I don't know what you want. I'm stuck. Nobody gets out. Don't go anywhere. I thought I told you not to go anywhere. Wonder if I can just toss him into the portal. That might work. Okay, looks like we're at an ad break and we're still trying to figure this out, so we're going to let it run, I guess. Little creature has given you the slip. No sign of it in this world. Ooh. So am I supposed to, like, trick it out of here? Ooh. Alright. I don't know what is wanted here. Alright. Alright. This is getting kind of old. Guessing now I can leave. Ooh. Alright. I think we are going to call it here, friends. For those of you who don't know, no, I did not figure out that puzzle. But we are out of time. So we're going to go to the Just Chatting a bit, and I'm going to go over some announcements. So, thank you everyone so much for watching today. I hope you all had a good time while you were here. And just as a few announcements real fast, we are going to be starting with the summer rotation next week. So I am probably going to play Yakuza on Tuesday, and then on Saturday we're going to play Worshippers of Cthulhu, which just sounds like a good way to just kind of give a little bit of balance, you know? Start it off, and then we might play this game later as a sinister endeavors game rather than as unfinished business, just because I think we're actually getting towards the end game of this. So, that's going to be everything. Also, I will have the VODs for last week up shortly. I've been kind of falling behind on that. It's been a very busy week for me. But rest assured, they will be up soon. Although the 2-year stream will be drastically trimmed down, especially since both there's a few intermissions and there's one particular segment that is an entire... what's it? Well, it's an entire YouTube video on its own that I made. So, as for rating, it looks like... looks like Skullcat Studio VT is on, so I think I will send you their way. Anyway, thank you, Skullcat Studio. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves, and always remember, at Corvid Communications, we won't leave you eating